Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of A Dime's Worth with Dan. My name is Dan Matachero. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Driveway Liberty podcast. It's a weekly podcast, well, mostly weekly, podcast where three of us guys, two libertarians, and one libertarian-leaning conservative, kind of sit around the driveway drinking beer, talking politics, current events, occasionally a local topic like this last episode where we talked about a hurricane that affected us here locally. But most of the time it's national politics and things like that. In between those weekly podcasts, each of us does some 10-minute videos, like the one you're watching right now, in which we delve into a little deeper in one of the subjects. So today's episode of A Dime's Worth with Dan, we are going to be talking about the current vacancy in the Supreme Court that opened up due to the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So if you're watching the news or listening to the news, you're hearing a lot of talk about the Democrats saying that this situation is very rare. Well, it's not. It's happened 29 times in the history of our country. So 50% of all presidents holding office have been in this situation, and that's happened 29 times. And in all 29 instances, that sitting president has moved forward with a nomination. George Washington did it 3 times. John Adams did it. Thomas Jefferson did it. Abraham Lincoln did it. Ulysses S. Grant did it. FBR did it. Dwight Eisenhower did it. And of course, in 2016, Barack Obama did it. So again, 22 of the 44 men to hold the office face this situation, and all 22 made the decision to send up a nomination. It happened 29 times. Back in 2016, when Obama was in the same situation, I want to show a video of what the Democrats were saying then.
The American people deserve a fully staffed court of 9.
The president nominates, and then the Senate advises and consents or not, but they go forward with the process.
What we're seeing here, and I hope this is temporary, is a disrespect for the Constitution.
The Constitution is 100% clear. The President of the United States has the right to nominate someone to be a justice of the Supreme Court. Senate's function is to hold hearings and to vote.
The blockade on filling a naturally occurring vacancy, in my view, is harmful to the independence of the Article III branch.
You cannot keep a seat on the Supreme Court, which represents all of us. You cannot keep it vacant against the Constitution.
Do pretty much everything they can to avoid acknowledging the legitimacy of our democratically elected president.
The American people expect the president's nominee to be given a fair hearing and a timely vote in the Senate.
Every day that goes by without a ninth justice is another day the American people's business is not getting done.
I say to you, do your job. Vote for a Supreme Court nominee.
Instead of just saying the blanket rule is no matter who you are, no matter what your qualifications, because you are sent by this president, we will create a unique rule for you and refuse to entertain you.
One of the most important consequences of who is president of the United States is who sits on the United States Supreme Court.
If you want to stop extremism in your party, you can start by showing the American people that you respect the President of the United States and the Constitution.
The American people deserve a fully staffed court of 9.
Oh, I find it rich to hear Elizabeth Warren talking about party extremism and respecting the current president of the United States of America. That's beautiful. So that's what the Democrats were saying back in 2016. They were basically arguing that the Republican Senate had a duty to have a vote on Merrick Garland, who was the nominee that that Obama put forth back then. Well, they have the ability, but there's no such law that states that they have to do it. So you just heard the way the Democrats felt about it in 2016. So Biden was on there twice. So I'm going to play for you now what Biden is saying now that the tables have turned and we're in 2020 and he's on the opposite side of the argument. So check this out.
To jam this nomination through the Senate is just an exercise in raw political power. And I don't believe the people of this nation will stand for it.
Little different story. Of course, that's always the way it is in politics. And it's no different for either side. But it's interesting. And I like to show you videos like this where you can actually see the hypocrisy in action. So getting back to the situation at hand, of the 29 times that this situation has occurred, every single instance the president has nominated a justice, 29 for 29. Saying that President Trump should not do so now is just silly. Think about this for a second. It would be political suicide for the Republicans to refrain from filling the vacancy unless there was, some sort of law or important traditional norm that was against it. Well, there's no such law and no such norm. In fact, the laws and the norms are all on their side. So choosing not to fill a vacancy would be a historically unprecedented act. It's never happened once in all of American history. There's no chance that the Democrats in the same situation would ever reciprocate. As their own history illustrates, in 2016, both Obama and Biden said that it was their constitutional duty to pick one. And they were right. And they picked one. So the difference between now and 2016 is the opposition party held the majority in the Senate. It's not the case now, and that is why they are losing their minds. Do you think for 1 second that if the Democrats held the Senate, they would give a vote to Amy Coney Barrett or whoever Trump's nominee would be? No chance. Yet in 2016, when the Republicans did just that, after Merrick Garland's nomination, Democrats said they were irresponsible and failed to do their constitutional duty. The reality is there's no constitutional duty for the Senate to advise and consent. They are allowed to, but they're not obligated to do so. There's a really good article that I put up here from the National Review that describes in detail the instances that I've talked about. You should probably check it out. It's about a 20 minute or so read. It goes into some pretty good detail about the 29 instances in which this exact situation has happened over our history. We're going to make sure we put a link in the show notes of this article because we like to kind of let you... Basically, one of the things that I do in my video is I'll show you websites like I did with the Black Lives Matter money trail and those kind of things, where I don't want you to think that this is just me making this stuff up. There's actually evidence behind it. So check out that article, and it will show you in detail all those instances. So listen, thanks for watching, and please, if you get a chance, check out the Driveway Liberty podcast with my good buddies Wes Herndon and Travis Horn. If you like it, please subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. That way you can help us grow the show. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Podomatic, or pretty much wherever you get your podcast from. We each put out videos like this. My Dime's Worth with Dan, Travis's 10 with T, and Wes's Woke with Wes all give some kind of insight into a political event subject. Please check them out and feel free to leave a comment or multiple comments. All of us like to argue, and some of us are pretty good at it. So please comment away, no matter which side of the debate you're on, and we can go back and forth. So we appreciate you watching. We want you to have a great day, and I'm going to leave you with this video that I just thought was absolutely hilarious.
I have 2 shotguns in my home. They're locked in a safe. There's a metal gun case. We live in an area that's wooded, somewhat secluded. And I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony and fire 2 blasts outside the house. Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. You don't need a machine gun. You don't need 30 rounds. Buy a shotgun. Buy a double-barrel shotgun.
No, you don't need a flamethrower, and you don't need a tank. You don't need an AR-15 to scare those thugs away. No, and I don't need a grenade launcher. I don't need an F-15. There's just one thing I need to do, and they'll stay away from me.
Fire 2 blasts outside the house. Buy a shotgun.
Buy a shotgun.
Buy a shotgun.
Jill, buy a shotgun, baby.
You don't need a machine
You
gun.
don't need a machine
You don't
gun.
need 30 rounds. Buy a shotgun. Buy a double-barrel shotgun. Fire 2 blasts outside the house. Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. You don't need a machine gun. You don't need 30 rounds. Buy a shotgun. Buy a double-barrel shotgun.
Oh, these guys. There's some very talented people out on the internet. So, listen, thanks again for tuning in, and you all have a great, great day. Bye.